Why, hello, fellow Patriots, and welcome to episode 5 on the Patriot Dad channel, where we can discuss current events and modern issues, all while keeping it as real as possible. Today, though, our topic is going to be success and how overnight success is pretty much a myth, and how champions and people that excel at just about anything work their asses off for what they get. Now, in general, the media wants us to think that, you know what, you can sit at home, do whatever you want, and success can just happen to you. It's not something you work at actively, it just happens. They want overnight success to be something that you believe in. And, you know, they do that by showing you people that are successful, but they show you kind of at the end, right? They show you after they've arrived. The people that we see frequently are already champions. They're already rich. They're already famous. And maybe, maybe you're old enough to have seen an episode of The Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. Or if you're a little bit younger, maybe the show you're more used to is MTV Cribs. All of this, though, is the media pushing envy. They want you to envy those who have, so that you can either buy stuff to try and emulate them, or believe that you can just have what they have and you can have it tomorrow. Now, the only way you really get wealth overnight would be to do something like inherit a lot of money from a rich relative, or to win the lottery. Now, the lottery is not a smart investment by any stretch, but if you did happen to win it, something you would be interested to know, and we can go over this article real quick, is that the National Endowment for Financial Education has stated and found that 70% of lottery winners will go bankrupt within a few years. Obtaining more money often leads to careless spending and the desire to get more money. The greed can be destructive to the lives of the winners and their families. Budgeting and financial planning are often major sources of conflict with married couples and families, and the presence of more money to spend can actually further heighten that issue. Interesting findings. If you don't already have the knowledge and the fundamentals of how to deal with money, having a lot of money is actually kind of dangerous. A lot of lottery winners self-delete. A lot of them are deleted by others. A lot of them end up in court or in issues with family. So just remember, be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. You should understand, though, that for the most part, real success is earned. It's earned by extreme amounts of effort over long periods of time. A little bit of effort and a little bit of time, you'll usually see improvement in something. Extreme effort over longer time, you'll usually have a higher level of success than the average person. Unparalleled effort for years is how champions are made. So one example here, you can see this is Claudia Gadea, and I'm probably mispronouncing that, and I apologize, Claudia. But you can see here, she is now working for the Fight Institute. She works for the UFC now. She was the strawweight person who fought the first strawweight fight. Grew up in very difficult circumstances, worked her ass off from the age of 14, moved across Brazil to go clean a dojo, start training in secret, and eventually make her way to the UFC. Now, when you look at her professional record, you can see she is the 115 weight class in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. She has a second degree black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. She was active from 2008 to 2021, had a total of 23 fights, 18 wins, 5 losses, all by decision, never knocked out, never submitted. That kind of extreme effort yields amazing results. She's an amazing person. I've met her in person, heard her talk in person, and that is the kind of person that we should emulate. Another great example of somebody who worked very, very hard over long periods of time. You might recognize this image. It is from the 1997 Game 5 of the NBA Finals, the flu game. That's right. Michael Jordan played this game suffering from an extreme bout of either food poisoning or the flu. But yeah, in Game 5, he not only got himself out of bed after he was told he would not be able to play at all, so you can see right down here, he scored 38 points in 44 minutes with 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, and 1 block. They won this game by 2 points. 2 points, 90 to 88. If he had just did like most people and sat in his room and felt bad for himself and didn't get out there and motivate his team and motivate himself and set a good example and score 38 points, which is a pretty damn good game for a healthy person, they wouldn't have won. Extreme effort over long periods of time yields amazing results. And in the tech world, many people know Linus Sebastian, also known for his channel Linus Tech Tips, started at NCIX. He has a combined 26.34 million subscribers and 9.16 billion with a B total views on YouTube for his media company. Now, in the early days at NCIX, they didn't want to spend a lot of money on his tech review, so they asked him to make his own channel, and that was in 2008. 2008. That was 15 years ago. He did not create a successful media company overnight. He did it slowly, with a lot of effort, over a long period of time, and he has created one of the largest tech channels on YouTube, highly successful. So why do people think that they can have success overnight? I don't know, but that's the lie that we're being sold. You want financial success, you need to put in the work and don't try and take shortcuts. You need to educate yourselves in how money works, how economics works, why the free market works the way it does, how evil certain types of economic policies can be to the growth of wealth and freedom. Because let's be honest, money is your freedom. If you have enough money, you can take the time to do what you want to do. If you don't have enough money, you have to work. You don't have the freedom to do what you want to do. You must work. So freedom is money. Money is freedom. The best way to get more money is capitalism, through hard work and delivering value. You need to learn about investing, because when you look at investing versus saving, the traditional old way of doing things that our grandparents taught us that were Depression era people, oh, just save your money to get wealth. Well, let's look at the most recent CPI data. The Consumer Price Index for all urban consumers rose 0.4% in April on a seasonally adjusted basis. Over the last 12 months, all items index increased 4.9% before seasonal adjustment. And that's if you trust CPI number, because the CPI over the years has been constantly manipulated to look better than it probably is. So during the peak of inflation, when we were nearing 9%, it was probably at least 1.5, if not twice that in real terms. So the other thing is, okay, well, you look at inflation, we're, 5, 6, 8%, whatever we've been over the last, 6 months to a year. Well, look at what a high yield savings account gets you. You put that money in the bank and you save it to get wealth. Well, a high yield savings account can yield 4%. And the national average for a regular savings account, 0.4%. 0.4. If inflation is 4.5 and your savings is earning 0.4, you're losing 4% a year in purchasing power. That's not going to get you wealthy. And if you're an investor, if you're an average investor, you're doing okay, right? Well, let's look. What is the S&P average return? The S&P 500 index, when you look at an average annualized return since 1957 through 2022, 10.15%. So at the peak of inflation last year, you were basically breaking even. Right now, you're gaining a little bit, but let's be honest, gaining a few percent, better than losing by saving, but that's not really the path to great wealth unless you have a very long time. If you're one of my viewers and you're 18 years old, you can compound that over the next 50, 60 years. That can become great wealth, right? Compound interest is your friend when it comes to investing. And the other thing is you need to invest in assets that create money, that earn their own wealth, right? Don't buy stuff. The media wants you to buy stuff. They want us all to be consumers. They don't want us to be educated investors because they need consumers to buy stuff. But instead of buying stuff, let's look at an option. You have real estate. According to Bankrate and the S&P 500 index, the average rate of return on an investment in residential real estate in the US is 10.6%. So that's actually doing about the same as the S&P itself. Commercial real estate, 9.5%, and REITs, which is a real estate investment trust, which is a type of stock style investment, is slightly higher at 11.8%. So you can save it and earn 0.4%, maybe 4% if you're lucky at a high interest rate, or you can invest it. Investing will get you to wealth if done properly. You need to educate yourselves. And that goes into surrounding yourselves with high quality mentors. Find someone who knows. You need to surround yourself with high quality mentors. Find somebody who knows how to do it. And then learn from them. It's key in life to be successful, especially with others, to get your money up, improve your network. You can do that by bringing value to other people before you look to get it from them. So bring value first, then seek value from somebody else, right? So if you want something from somebody, typically it's easier to get it if you have already done them a favor. That applies pretty much in everything. And to be successful in relationships, you need to be your significant other or partner's best option. If you aren't their best option, they may look somewhere else. And they may look for someone else that could be their best option. And that's not good for a stable relationship. The importance, though, is you need to know your value and don't tolerate nonsense. And if you get nonsense, move on. Because again, like we've talked about in past videos, you can't care about somebody else's future and success more than they do. So if you're willing to help them, but they're not willing to help themselves, sometimes it's better to move on, right? So, in this week, we talked a little bit about success and how it's not really an overnight phenomenon. It takes hard work over long periods of time. If you've liked this video or content like it, feel free to like the video, subscribe to the channel, make a comment below, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. The topic is not quite set yet. We'll see what it is next week, but I'll try and keep it interesting for you. So I hope that in general, you guys have a good rest of your week. Take care and God bless. Bye for now.